that the clutch was just going to be shot. I was hoping it was just going to be out of material, and when we took it apart it was all wet and nasty. So upon taking that clutch out also, we found some very nice crank walk. This is after we already cleaned it off too. It was all full of oil and shit. So that's awesome. But we found out why it's leaking.
Just put it right in the middle somewhere, and there we go.
No, it come back out a little bit. Right there. Yeah,
all
that's
right.
perfect. 75 shot.
No pressure onto the pressure plate. It's good.
Yeah.
It's all the way out.
I think that's good for about a 75 shot.
All right.
But no, I mean that kind of sucks. So did have a brand new clutch to put in. Brand new clutch and a 16 valve pressure plate. But not gonna put that in just for it to get soaked with oil again. So I'm just gonna spray everything off, get the oil off it, put it back together, and then blow this bitch up. I just can't believe it. I can't believe it wasn't burning oil and stuff with those bearings.
I can't even make no noise.
If you find yourself in a pinch and have an oil-soaked clutch, best thing you can do is hit it with some sort of cleaner, simple green, carb cleaner, brake cleaner, whatever. And then you can hit it with some heat, a torch, and you'll actually get it to start boiling up and coming to the surface. So you don't want to cook it too much because then you just destroy all the fibers, but not exactly a permanent solution. Best things is obviously always to get a new clutch, but
It smells like it's well done.
huh?
It smells well done.
We're going for medium rare.
Medium rare.
Trust the devil when the devil is calling. Whenever I'm together with the gold bugs crawling. Praise to the man who stands so fighting. Fight so quick and as fast as lightning.
Oh. And then these outer bolts, as well as the pressure plate bolts, which are already in, are supposed to be torqued to spec, but we're going 1 or 2 Ugga-Duggas on these flywheel bolts, and then on the pressure plate bolts we went 3 Ugga-Duggas. Alright, so if you don't have a clutch alignment tool, you could eyeball it and get it about center. But you get these bolts a little snug, and then you can move this around and it'll kind of stay put as you tighten them all. But you just want to get about center as best as you can, and then whale them down.
Never trust the devil when the devil is calling. Whenever I'm together with the gold bugs crawling. Praise to the man who stands so fighting. Fight so quick and as fast as lightning.
Don't forget to lube your spline with some axle grease. Just go and plop it right in there. Yep, just plop that shit right in there, right off of the axle. It's right there, it's ready to go. You don't need no fancy clutch grease. Just get right over those, right over that transmission. Yeah, all on there, ready to go.
Trust the devil when the devil is calling. Whenever I'm together with the gold bugs crawling. Praise to the man.
Shooting over to my buddy Scott's house to pick up a nitrous kit that he's lending me to use for the torture test, which is awesome. Scott himself is a bit of a Volkswagen encyclopedia, which is also awesome. Weather permitting, we're gonna get this torture test done this weekend. In which case Scott will definitely be there too. Don't know how drawn out this torture test is going to be, but if we have the time and things go smoothly, definitely going to be awesome to have somebody like Scott there. But for lack of better words, for those roadside kind of fixes when you're in a pinch, Scott's definitely one of those people that just knows just knows and has experienced all sorts of things. So we'll get this stuff, see what he's up to. What's going in after? I have a 2.0 bottom with a built JH head. Solid lifter.
That's the way to do it.
Exhaust.
Did one years ago. We did a 1.7 down.
Yeah.
We hogged out the intake manifold, like just Dremel, just opened it up, took a few things out of it, did a few little tricks to it. And cam that was in 3 other motors that we just slammed in this thing. But 262 cam in. Valves weren't even shimmed right. It was just slam it in and go. And it ripped. That thing was fun. Had a 4-speed behind it, and it ripped. We beat the shit out of that thing.
It's gonna be
connected together to one pipe. Came up over the intake manifold, like up, you know, like you're looking at the motor, like left side that gap, came up and over here into the turbo, like, you know, the flange. The turbo was mounted on a bracket where the AC compressor should go. It boosted. There was duct tape on the CIS box. Like, this thing was so ghetto, it was not even funny. We could never get, like, I locked the wastegate closed, like, literally just put a pair of vice grips on it and clamped it closed so it would make boost. All sorts of shit trying to get this thing to make boost. It would make about a PSI in the intake. About a PSI was all you'd get out of it. When you sprayed it, you got about 7 pounds out of it. But yeah, we sprayed the shit out of it. The funniest part was because the turbo set, it just had an up pipe off the top, like literally just came out and stuck right off the turbo and just straight out. When you sprayed it, it would shoot a blue flame about this far out the pipe.
That's the one you were telling me about? You were doing a 100 shot?
Yeah, we were spraying a 100 shot in it. I blew 3 sets of plugs out of it, and then the clutch let go. Then the funniest part was when we were trying to kill it, the bottle was starting to get low, so I just disconnected the fuel. It was just spraying nitrous at it. I was like, burp. Kept melting plugs out of it, and then then I ended up just smoking the clutch where you could barely drive it, where we just let go as soon as you put anything in it.
Drill this right on into there. It's probably the easiest bet. I was just gonna do it into here and say screw it. Who cares about metal shavings? But that would be pretty bad to do all this build up and then literally destroy the motor as soon as it starts. I mean, it wouldn't get destroyed, but definitely a possibility of trashing the compression in 1 or more cylinders. So let's be a little bit professional about it, and I'm gonna do it just before the throttle body. I don't like how it's gonna flow, but whatever. It's even pre-marked for a nitrous line. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a casting mark saying, hey, blow me up through here. I tried to thread it, didn't work, so JB weld. It's too much space from where the threads stop. I could put a washer and space it out, but still the threads just, it's not, even with the threads in, it's just.
It's calling whenever I'm together with the go bugs crawling. Praise to the man who stands so fat and fight so quick and as fast as lightning.
There's no easy way to go about tapping into the fuel lines because this sucks. Probably just gonna hook these wires up to the same solenoid wires for the nitrous. Probably just cut this pigtail off and use this. Don't even know if this works. So 78. They actually they put an extra hole in the firewall and put a blank plug in it, and this was actually designed for the nitrous line, which is pretty cool. Neat little fact. Actually, I'm just kidding about that. Because that doesn't even come close. Alright, so this just went really south really quick because I'm an idiot. I wasn't liking this at all, so I went to grab some thicker metal and get a more direct shot in. That snapped, so that's really cool. I'm an idiot. I should have drilled the hole a little larger and tapped it a little bit better, but that's what you get for being an idiot. A disaster might have been averted. That was a nightmare. Got this ghetto sealed off. In the process, I broke this vacuum line. I broke another vacuum line back there. But this is in much better this way. After drilling out the old one, there are definitely a crap load of metal shavings in the intake right now. So let's start it up and see if I just f***ed myself or not. far so good. Let's spray from idle. Yeah, it works, and that's oh man, that is funny. It works.
Oh God. Technical difficulties. Windshield wipers are not working. Oh.
It's not enough.
It's so cute. He's taking some sort of nozzle out.
Well, it works.
They make it seem like so much faster when you're in video games.
It's not charged either.
What,
And the
this?
bottle's cold. Yeah, you gotta heat the bottle up.
Run for turkeys,
There's not enough pressure. That's the problem.
Is your line too long?
No, it's just the bottle's not fully charged.
Oh God. Oh God.
So, bottle's a little too empty. I don't feel like torching the shit out of it. I've never messed with this stuff before. I don't know how crazy you can go with the torch. Not trying to burn my car down. So, I was also supposed to get a brake cylinder for the rear brakes. Brakes aren't that great right now. They're leaking. Long story short, we're not blowing this motor up this weekend, which is a bummer. I really wanted to get it done. But she's ready to go, so there's that. We're gonna get the bottle filled up. I'm gonna put the nozzle back in the line and see how that hits. I'm gonna spray the hell out of it repeatedly with the regular engine oil in it. Actually low. I know for a fact I haven't checked this oil at all. Yeah, it's not even, there's obviously the oil in there, but the oil's so low it's not even picking up on the bottom of the dipstick. So I'm going to leave it as is. I'm going to spray the hell out of it for however long, and then we'll go get some canola oil, drop the oil, put canola oil in, probably add like a quart of gear oil, just because of that crank walk that you guys saw the other day. I don't want to put just straight canola oil because that's a lot thinner and it's just going to piss out right back onto the clutch and ruin all the fun way too quickly. I was thinking about throwing like flour in, like bread flour. Add that in, that would also thicken it up. That's one way to thicken up cooking oil. I don't want to risk clogging up the filter and just losing all oil pressure and again ruining the fun early. So spray the hell out of it, then switch to canola oil with gear oil, continue spraying the hell out of it, and then once it starts showing signs of wanting to die, we'll just take out the jet and just run open line, see what happens. I don't know, we'll find out.